snack has played a huge part in my training camp. The protein, the ZMA, everything, the pre-workout, it's played such a major part in my training camp, keeping me healthy, keeping me recovered, keeping me feeling good, strong, and ready for my next workout.
Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Marcos Villegas being joined with Sugar Hill, fresh off of his huge win with his man Tyson Fury defeating Deontay Wilder via knockout last Saturday. Sugar man, that fight was crazy. It literally, like, I was like on pins and needles the whole time, because the moment, like, I thought that Fury had it in the bag, we see Deontay, get the knockdown, and then I think, Tyson has it again, and you always worry, like, hey, is Deontay Wilder gonna land a big punch? For you, how was it going through that fight in the corner?
To me, it was a great experience. As I said before, I live for this shit here. This is what big time boxing is about, and I've been involved in it pretty much my whole life with my uncle Emmanuel Steward, and me being in that position, it's like I said, I live for it, to be able to do the things that he's done, and to have learned from him, and to be able to go out and execute and get the job done. So yeah, for me, it was all of that, and I just love it. I wouldn't want to be in no other position. This is what, like, even for me, like, I've been working for so long to get to this kind of a point. Been through it, but never on the heavyweight championship of the world level, which we know is, as I always say, is the big granddaddy of them all. It's the heavyweight division. The heavyweight division is what runs boxing. I say it all the time. And I'm not a true historian of boxing, but I'm assuming that the boxing started with the heavyweight division. It didn't start with no lightweights, but it was just man versus man, and that was the weight. And it was heavy. The heavier guy maybe started to win. So yeah, I don't think anybody will try to test me on that one. It just makes common sense.
When you look at the fight and you compare it to like the other great fights of the past, I think obviously this is going to be fight of the year for this year. But how do you think this fight compared to some of the classics from the past?
I've said it before. This, to me, I mean, because I'm there and everything. So yeah, this is probably one of the greatest fights. It can be one of the greatest fights, championship fights in history. I know there's been other fights much more exciting than this fight, but just maybe we didn't see it. Something that maybe the world hasn't seen. But as far as being seen by the world and viewed, this is one of those exciting fights. And I look at the other fights when you have the other heavyweight trilogies and other heavyweight fights, and it has, to me, it has to compare up there with the rest of them. Not taking anything away from those other fights, but those fights were in that moment, and now we're at this moment, at this time, and it's happening. So it seems to be much greater. You can weigh things out in each era or each time. When those events happened, and they were great in that moment. But and some of them hold more firm a lot longer. But yeah, I would have to say this is the best one, and maybe I'm being biased because I'm a part of it. So
rightfully so. No, this whole trilogy has been exciting. The first fight was exciting. The second fight was one-sided, but then this one, wow, man, an exciting trilogy from both Deontay and Tyson. I know you've been celebrating your win over there in Vegas. Have you had it might sound.
I've been in the gym. I've been
in the gym.
I went to the gym yesterday, and I'm back in the gym again today.
Oh wow, okay. I was gonna say, like, how's Tyson?
Tyson's good. Tyson's at home. He took off Sunday morning, and he took off Monday. So yeah,
it's all blur.
I went to dinner yesterday, and I was talking to friends of mine, and I kept referencing yesterday, yesterday was Monday. I kept referencing yesterday, which to Saturday, like, yeah, yesterday, what happened yesterday? So I guess maybe I lost the day somewhere.
You're stuck in time. That's how much of a like euphoric high you're on, because it was such a great fight. I'm still buzzing about it because very rarely do fights live up to the building up and the hype. I think a lot of times, like, we hype a fight up so much, and then it And I think that's with anything, even with like with movies and TV series, like we build it up so much that like it doesn't make it to our expectation, but this one certainly did. Uh, in terms of like, I want to get into the nitty gritty of a few things about this fight. First off, now that the fight is over, did Tyson really have a bad camp, or was it a pretty solid camp in your opinion?
It was a solid camp. It was just a different camp. So this was the first camp that we had, a camp in England and a camp in the U.S. So it was just different. And with everything different, you have to make adjustments or you have to adapt to it. So yeah, can't say it was a bad camp, because when you say something like that, honestly, and it's almost like an excuse. I don't have any excuse. Tyson doesn't have any excuse. I even hate to even be talking about it right now, because, and that's why I say it was a good camp. There was nothing wrong with the camp. It was just some things that were different. So, that's like, it could be different from, I'm just being funny. It could be different from like waking up at 7 o'clock every morning for camp and versus 7:30, so nothing taken away from the training camp at all, period.
How
when you do that, you take away from the fight. You take away from what the other team has done to achieve what they achieved. And I'm not doing that anyway, no way, no how, period.
How was it different, Sugar? Like,
well,
in what way? Because a fan's going to be listening to this and they're going to be like, oh, okay. Like, how so was it different?
I'm not going to touch on it. I'm not going to go into it like that, because like I said, it takes away from the goal. It takes away. I gave a little bit of an example, and that's all I'm going to do for that, because I'm not taking away from that fight. I'm not taking away from the effort for Deontay Wilder and Malik Scott and the rest of the team over there and everybody else who enjoyed that fight. I just won't do it. So
fair enough. We saw him weigh a little bit more in this fight compared to the second one and even the first one. Was that the plan, to have him a little bit more heavy in this fight?
It's been a question a lot, and I talked to Tyson about that too a lot. So for me, it doesn't matter what the weight is. The plan wasn't to put on extra weight. We talked about it, and it may always be different with his weight. I'm not looking for a certain weight. This is the heavyweight division. I want everybody to understand that this is the heavyweight division. There is no weight limit. Why do we talk about weight so much, and trying to get to this perfect weight? Everyone's body is different. This is the granddaddy division of them all. There is no weight limit. You can be 5'9" weighing 250. It doesn't matter. I mean, in the heavyweight division, it should just be whatever weight you perform good at. That's it. Look at Tyson, for example. He doesn't have a body of a beautiful sculptor, like in that sense that the body's supposed to be perfect. His body is his body, and accepting that and fighting in at the weight that you're comfortable with, I think it's the best thing ever.
Yeah, he has a body type that's built for fighting. Like that body type is like an endurance like body type. Like you look at a guy like Andy Ruiz.
You're being funny, ain't you? He should be on the cover of GQ magazine.
Hey, they should. Why not?
That's not what's portrayed as a fighting body. But
it's not. But
like
that's
said,
what it is.
Yeah, it's whatever you can, whatever you're comfortable with, and you can perform that.
Because you look at guys like Andy Ruiz and even more like a Nonito Doñer or an Eric Morales or a Marco Antonio Barrera, and you look at these guys, and these guys weren't muscular, but they could go 12 rounds and even some more,
Yeah, and that's what makes boxing such a spectacular sport, because it's not just you need to look like this to perform like that. I mean, that's totally wrong.
No, you're very true. I think it's like not a misnomer, but just, you look at someone like an Anthony Joshua and you think like, oh yeah, this guy, like this is what.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
There you go.
All that glitters ain't gold.
Yeah, that's true. In terms of the actual fight, we saw Deontay Wilder go to the body very early on with stiff jabs of the body, straight right hands. What did you guys make of that strategy? And what did you feel would have been or was the proper adjustment, Sugar, in there in the fight?
Well, for me, thinking about the situation when he came out throwing those strong, aggressive jabs and right hands to the body, more right hands than anything. But yeah, for me, it was like, okay, that's fine. But everything for me is like, okay, that's fine, but how long can you keep it up? So I wasn't really worried about that at all.
Mm.
And that was my thought of it at that time. And I think it only lasted what, a round and a half, maybe 2
Yeah, I
rounds at the
think
most.
like, yeah.
So yeah. So yeah, I guess I was pretty right about that. How long can you keep doing this? Fine to do it, but how long can you keep doing it?
Mm. Did you have a feeling that he would gas out or get tired rather quickly?
Uh, I can't say I had a feeling. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm just this spectacular trainer. I can think of everything. When you in this fight game, honestly, it's everything. Everything is really a gamble because you don't know what's going to happen. You can only guess at what the opponents are going to do, what their plan may be. It's all just a guess. Uh, honestly, and that's what makes it so exciting. Is just trying to guess at, what the other team's going to do. So, yeah, if things happen in the fight, you have to make those adjustments like that. And that's the thrill. That's the thrill what I love. So it's not really all so much on like oh, I figured that out. I knew you'd do that. I knew you would do that. Even that, it's still gonna be adjustments unless you're gonna go right in there and the first move, the first jab you throw a right hand over top and catch him with a right hand, the fight's over. Then that's like the perfect fight, in a sense, where your fighter didn't make any mistakes. And even then, that was an adjustment. So it's not like you plan for as soon as you throw a jab, I'm gonna throw a right hand and the fight's gonna be over.
Mm.
So yeah, I got a lot of different answers than everybody else because I understand certain things a lot, and think of them as a lot different. I guess somehow I'm trying to, I'm saying it and speaking about it more because I'm trying to make other people understand it. So it's not just all. It has to be like a cookie cutter. It has to be this way. It has to be that way. It's not. The sport is so intriguing, and that's why everybody, the whole world, gravitates to boxing. It's one man versus another man, and there can be adjustments made, and wills tested, hearts, guts, stamina, strength. Everything goes into this boxing.
No, yeah, very true.
I
People are
sound
always
like
gonna.
an ambassador for boxing, like
No, it's good.
boxing for everybody.
Yeah, no, the sport needs that. To be honest, we need more people pushing the sport and getting people who aren't hardcore fans into it to become hardcore fans because I think that's one thing that's been missing from boxing lately is the dedicated fan base that tunes in for this fight, but also tunes in for like a Gallo Estrada versus Roman Gonzalez, and other fights like that because those guys are tremendous fighters as well. The plan, Sugar, coming into this fight, what was it? What was it, to box? Was it to lean on Deontay? What were you guys planning?
I've been saying this lately. So you asked what's the plan, and I said, "What's my name?" And then
Sugar.
you said, "Sugar Hill." And this knockouts.
Knockouts.
It's always a knockout for me.
Yeah.
That's yeah, that's just something I just believe in, and no discredit to any other fighter that it's just that's just the plan. So it's like scoring touchdowns. I don't just want to believe in going there and getting a decision when I can try for a knockout every round, and then I can pretty much solidify my victories or know that we're going to win by putting forth that kind of an effort every time instead of just saying I'll just win the round and then you got another round and anything can happen in the next round. So yeah, the plan is always to knock out. It was it was to box. It was to do a lot of things that we worked on that we weren't able to show in the last fight, and things that just things that makes him a more well-rounded boxer. And what I was happy with was his mid-range punching, which actually the distance where he stopped the fight. Uh, you know, People take it, I guess, for him leaning on Deontay as to wear him out and things like that. But boxing is like a wrestling match in a sense too. It's a physical sport, so it's not just two guys standing there and nobody pushing anybody. Nobody makes the other person move that way, or you push guys back to the ropes. That's part of boxing. If you push them to the ropes, and you can do certain things that you can't do out in the center of the ring, or if you push them in the corner, then it's like they can't go left, right, or back. So it's just the whole thing is just controlling your opponent. So it's going to always be adjustments made throughout the whole fight, whether you're jabbing from a long distance or you got a mid-range jab or you got a short jab. It's just so many different aspects of it that's what makes me and keeps me excited about this whole thing, and which makes it such a beautiful art. that it is. And it is misunderstood a lot outside of boxing and inside of boxing. To be fair, it's so true. A lot of people inside of boxing really don't understand it, and they get maybe I'm not the best with words, but tunnel vision and thinking it's supposed to be this way only, and this is the only thing that should work, and it's not, because styles make fights, and that's still that beauty of boxing.
Well, yeah, and if you have such a, you know, Tyson's so much bigger than all these guys, and if you have a weight advantage too, like why would you not, like, it's an advantage. You're gonna use that. You're gonna, you know, that's how you tire an opponent out, is using their weight. Like that's what people would do to me when I wrestled, because I was always at a weight disadvantage, and they'd always lean on me, you know, try to put their chest over me, in certain positions and everything like that. So I understand and get that aspect of it.
Yeah, and you can't really say that the bigger man's going to win all the time. I mean, look at history. Evander Holyfield was a dominant heavyweight, and he fought a lot of bigger men. Mike Tyson is the same way. So, you know, you can have speed and weight. You can have size and weight, but then you have another person maybe with speed and stamina. So it's never gonna. It's like playing rock paper scissors over and over again or something. It's not going to ever be the same or be mapped out to be the same. Like it's supposed to be this way. It's going to always be different shades. You may have somebody with size and strength, but then they don't have heart. So it takes a combination of everything, you know, to make, you know, for boxing. And that's why you have so many different variables and so many different outcomes and so many different great fights as we just witnessed.
So, you know, the fight's going along, and it looks like, you know, there's ebbs and flows, and then all of a sudden Tyson connects, down goes Deontay. Did you feel at that moment, I know it was a little bit later in that round, but did you feel like, okay, Tyson has him now, like this is it?
I mean, yes and no. It's just like, okay, I mean, yeah, when he lands that punch, it's like, okay, good. But yeah, then he's getting up. So yeah, you can't just sit and say this is it. It's never it. Never in the heavyweight division, and never with Deontay Wilder. So you know, fair credit to him, and you know, I guess him proving a point that, you know, he's a warrior and he wanted to go out on his shield. But at the same time, a trainer's number one concern is the fighter's health. So it's I guess like a double-edged sword with that situation. You know, he proved his point, and the point was also proven, I feel, by, you know, his previous trainer, Mark Breathen, by being conscious of his health. You know, and for that being said, is why we had this trilogy. This trilogy. We never know what may have happened if the first fight, I mean, the second fight that they had was like this. How would the first fight, how would this third fight here be so much exciting as it is?
Did you feel that and I know there was a big hoopla over it because of what happened in the second fight, but did you feel that the fight on Saturday should have been stopped a little bit earlier by the corner? Even though Malik said he wasn't going to stop the fight, but do you feel he should have stopped it?
I don't know. I mean, the way I look at it, you know, it's easy for me to just make a plain answer like, oh yeah, it should have been stopped. But I try to be as fair as possible, because I have to look at the situation. I'm not the referee. And for everybody listening, boxing fans and not, guess what? Big secret. The corner does not always have the best seat in the house. You know, you got poles in the way, ring corner pads and ropes. I mean, the best seat in the house is actually like the third or fourth row up, going into the, you know, into the bowl section, you know, where you're at ring level. So yeah, it's not always the best seat, you know, sitting there watching it. So I've seen where Deontay looked like, you know, fatigued, or looked like he may have been finished, but then at the same time, I could see the same in Tyson a little bit, you know, where it's like you're looking fatigued, and certain punches may land, and it looks like, oh man, you should stop it. But I mean, this is boxing, and it's a warrior sport. We have our ups and downs with boxing, our tragedies, and our high spectacular moments like this. So it's just with anything else in the world. And if you the way I understand it and the way I think about it is, it's going to be a good and bad and everything. So I don't get caught up in too much of one thing, because with something bad happening, something good can happen as well.
So the next round after that first knockdown with Wilder, you know, I think us in press row, thought like, okay, this is looking like it's gonna go the same way as the second fight, and then Wilder scores a knockdown, and then he scores another one. What caused Tyson to get caught with that punch, you feel?
Like I'm Tyson Fury, but no, you mean you saw him? He was applying, he was putting pressure on Wilder going forward, and you know, he was pretty. Honestly, he was square going in, so the punch came right through the middle. I mean, plain and simple. When you go in like this, then you just leaving a small hole for somebody to punch in. But if you have the proper angle, then those punches aren't there like that. So very simple. That's how you got caught the first time.
Mm.
So the second time when he got knocked down, you know, it was a punch. It wasn't a solid punch at all. It was more of a clubbing push. And I just got to be funny. So it was more of I learned how to punch like Tyson Fury in the first fight type of deal. Because it wasn't with the knuckles at all. It was kind of like, you know, the back of the head, but it's a blow. It was a blow. So not saying did it intentionally, I'm just being funny, but yeah, it wasn't the cleanest punch like at all, but it scored the knockdown. So that's what it was.
What was going on through your mind during that series? Like, did you like, I don't know, just explain to me like what was going on through your mind?
Really, it was just, you know, get up and carry on. You know what to do in these situations. These are things that you talk about, we practice them, and you go over them, and it's just executing those things, you know, at that time. If you don't practice for something, how can you be prepared for it so much better? But we try to practice everything, and that's what keeps me and Tyson so fresh. It's just the learning and the teaching and the going over things. Different situations in boxing is what I always just call situation of boxing. It's something that I teach. If you don't plan for that situation, how do you prepare for it?
Yeah, no, that's very true. It's the only way you can prepare for it is to put yourself in those uncomfortable situations so that you could draw like experience from being in those uncomfortable situations. When that round finishes, what do you tell Tyson in the corner? Because us ringside, we couldn't hear like the instructions that both corners were saying.
Really, what I was telling him to breathe. I mean, yeah, that was most important to me. Is breathe, get your breathing together, so we can go back out in the fifth round, and you can get back to doing what you're supposed to be doing and not make that same mistake. So if I can recall, I was telling him to breathe. I didn't say much. It was nothing for me to say really. It was for me to get my fighter back focused, back into gear, you know, to go out there and continue to box. The mistake was made already. There's no need to talk about that or to be long-winded about it and to get all dramatic. Or it's already happened. It's in the past. It's time to move forward to the next round, which is the fifth round. And that was just my choice of instructions, was just to breathe, get your breathing. He got his breathing together. And then I just told him, start getting back on the jab and don't be so square. That was it. So the first thing I had to do was to make sure he's able to understand me. And you can't talk to and expect somebody to understand you when they're tired, you know. So the first thing, I mean, the breathing is the key. So get him back breathing properly. Now he can listen to me and focus on what I have to say and go back out there for that fifth round.
And from that point, I think he settled in, and you could see Deontay getting.
I'm telling all my secrets. My God, what am I
No,
doing?
no, 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 no.
I must be still getting. I must be still on my high from Saturday night and Sunday and everything else.
No, man, we are still hyped up, man. This is an awesome fight. So it starts looking from like the fifth round on that, you know, Deontay's getting really, really tired, and a lot of people are thinking, okay, like this is starting to look again like the second fight. Did you feel?
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Tyson had his shot to try to stop Deontay in the third round, and Deontay had his shot in the fourth round. What saved both of those guys, I mean, realistically, is the bell. The bell saved both of them. So had it been earlier in the round for both fighters, we wouldn't have got to maybe the fourth round. And if it was earlier in the fourth round, we wouldn't be in the fifth round maybe. But, you know, this is boxing. The rounds are 3 minutes. I'm only being funny to say both of them should learn how to do the damage earlier in the fight, earlier in the round, so then they have more time to operate.
No, I was gonna get to that. Like, did you feel like Tyson could have ended the fight earlier? And if so, like, why do you feel like he wasn't able to? Was it because just Deontay could take the punches, or?
You know what? For both fighters, I mean, they got so much adrenaline going, and they want to finish it. So at some point, both of these fighters are not being as technical as they should be. And then you have mistakes. And with mistakes, then you have time. I'm just stopping because I know I talk too much.
I'm here listening and
no,
all,
it's
taking it all in.
It's short and simple. Bang, get it over, straight to the point. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is. I'm not gonna drag on and talk about it and make it sound more fancier, but it's just what it is. Cut and dry, just that simple.
Just just like when people go out with their significant other, just get to the point. So there's a clip of you, I guess you were yelling at Tyson to
That
get him.
Me.
That wasn't you. Oh yeah, the Shaggy reference there. It wasn't me.
That wasn't me.
That wasn't
me. That wasn't me. Somehow it's led to believe that I was up in the stands watching the fight. I'm just going out of here, but somebody's opened up a Twitter account in my name, I guess, like.
Oh no! It's like a parody account.
This is a view from Sugar Hill.
Yeah,
it's like up in the stands somewhere. So I don't. So now I can really say that wasn't me. Who you talking about was in the corner, because somebody's got I don't even have a Twitter account. So,
oh man.
So somebody's got one open with my name on it and everything.
It's not him, guys. That's not his account. But I did see a clip. It was from the broadcaster of you. I don't know which round it was, but you're instructing Tyson, jab him, get him out of there. Da, 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 da. And you know what it reminded me of?
It wasn't me. I just told you.
But it reminded me of Emmanuel when he was yelling at Lennox, when he was telling him, get this mother ever out of here. Like, and it reminded me a lot of that moment. Like you had that moment with Tyson.
Well, now you know where I get a lot of things from.
Yeah.
So can't argue about that. So what you saw is what you saw. And what everybody saw. So it's just that moment. I mean, it's a fight for us in the corner as well. I mean, it's not just sit there or get down, break down and get nervous. It's a fight for us too. Sometimes I find myself in the corner sweating, just from not like stress or anything like that, but actually I'm working and moving, I'm thinking, and it's also hot, under those lights sometimes, but it can be very, I can leave that corner sweating sometimes. I mean, and lost me a couple pounds, so lets me be able to go and enjoy a more healthy, more fuller meal the next day. But it's whatever it takes to get that fighter motivated, and I needed to reach and grab something else from Tyson Fury. So me knowing him and our relationship, I know how to get to him like that.
Yeah, no, and you did with him scoring that knockout when he did in the 11th round.
Because that's the same thing I would have been doing if I was in that position.
Yeah.
Gotta dig down. Come on, let's get it.
Let's get it.
So I totally understand it. And being able to reach out to him and to get to him, for my voice to be able to command him, to reach through him and to understand it. And I guess in that round, like you could see it when he said he acknowledged me and said, okay, so at that point I was like, all right, good. Now, I'm okay. I want it over with. I don't want a decision.
Well, I think like all the great trainers have that moment where like they pull something a little bit more from their fighter, and it's like
big dog style.
Yeah. No, but
big dogs come on. Big dogs know how to win it late. It ain't just always early. It's a 12-round fight. Be ready every round, so the big dogs can do it in the later rounds.
No, yeah, and you pulled it out of them, which it just looking at it, like every trainer has that moment, like with their fighter. Like I remember, like Virgil Hunter, like yelling at Andre Ward when he got knocked down by Kovalev, or Teddy Atlas, that fireman talk that he had, I believe, with Bradley, and even Joel Diaz yelling at Bradley during the Provodnikov fight. Like you guys, the very elite trainers have that moment that they put in that position where they grab that extra something from their fighter to get that result.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're living in that moment. So when you have a fighter and you have a relationship, then that fighter in that ring almost becomes part of you. So it's like when certain punches are being thrown, I can see the opponent moving sometimes, and I can tell if my fighter's gonna get caught or not by a punch. It's like you're in there. So, and maybe everybody don't feel that way and don't see it that way, but I'm putting myself in that position. When I'm in a locker room, I'm warming up too. I'm not just sitting there and reading my phone or texting. I'm actually warming up, moving, and getting myself prepared mentally and physically for this fight as well. Another tip.
Yeah, another tip. Now, hey, this is great. This is great stuff, Sugar. Thank you. The fight finishes, okay, and Tyson in his post-fight
I'm
interview.
glad you got to that. I'm glad you got to the
I know.
fight. That
Fight's over.
was
Fight
so
finishes.
exciting, yeah.
He gets a knockout. You go in and you jump on him. You guys are celebrating. He said in the post-fight that he went over to Deontay to congratulate him, and that Deontay didn't want to shake his hand. Were you there? Like, were you present during that interaction?
I wasn't there, so let's rewind back to where I jumped on him, because that seems like the more exciting part about that question right there, because I wasn't there for that part of it, whatever. So yeah, I was running over to him and I was thinking, like, I said, you know what? I was gonna jump on him and then climb up and like just be on his shoulders like I was a little child. But then I had to think, be sensible, and say, if I do that, he just had a long, hard fight. I don't know if he'll be able to hold me up. We both go towering back. There'll be cameras behind us, video, and then I'll fall on the cameras, crack my head open. And it'll be a big thing. Then all of the accolades and the excitement from the fight will be taken away, drawn away from those two guys, all on me being injured.
Imagine the headlines: Sugar Hill injured Tyson Fury after fight celebration, tears ACL. That wouldn't have been bad.
So it was an exciting moment at that point in time. You know, it was like,
you look like a little kid, like you mentioned. You look like a little kid.
When he went down that last time, you know, I'm thinking like hell yeah, you know. And then I'm like, right before he hits the ground, I'm still thinking like, damn, he about to get his ass up again, you know, because he's been getting up all night. So it's like, damn, he about to get up again, you know. So when I saw the referee jump in and wave it off, that's when I was like, yes, you know, plan executed, well done. And, you know, just a tough evening. And, you know, one of those things that, you know, you could see me still smiling about it and thinking about it. And I've just last night started like actually searching the internet, like looking up stuff, or hadn't done anything like that and thought about it. It's still fresh in my mind, but now I'm just kind of like winding down and, you know, looking at different reads and, you know, things like that. And the only person I actually reached out to was Malik Scott. I called him and then he texted me back. So, you know, I was happy. I left him a message as well, you know, a nice friendship message, and he left me one back. So, yeah, I'm very happy for him though, you know, for the, you know, all the effort and work that he's done, you know, with such a tough fight and, you know, going against everything. Like, you know, it was, you know, it's no discredit to him or to Deontay Wilder for the effort they put in, and the rest of the team. So I don't want anybody getting mad at me just talking about those two, but, you know, it was a great effort by them.
Oh yeah, Deontay showed a ton of heart in that fight.
They gave it a hell of a shot. You know,
yeah, so, they did.
Yeah.
No, speaking of after the fight, though, I know there's a lot of pride involved with fighters. But what did you make of Deontay not wanting to, you know, congratulate Tyson, and he said like he didn't respect him? Like, what did you make of that whole situation?
Let's see, I've been in law enforcement too long, maybe, but yeah, I can't recall that I wasn't there. So I don't want to pass judgment on that. I mean, I actually feel like how, you know, Malik said. I mean, it's the same way, and that I have to put myself in Deontay's position. Mm-hmm. And maybe, you know, everybody's not going to do the right thing all the time, and everybody's not going to feel the same way. But if that's how he feels, then that's how he feels. Everybody else may not like it. I mean, you could win a fight and do like this, and everybody may not like that. But I mean, that's just how you feel. So you're not going to make everybody happy. You know, Tyson feels the way he feels about it, and so me being in Tyson's shoes, I would say, yeah, I would like him to shake my hand, but being in Deontay's shoes and having that kind of you know, those feelings toward Tyson and maybe other things, and, you know, yeah, the whole situation, then that's how he feels right there. I mean, you need to give somebody some time. Sometimes you need time to give somebody space to think about things and to, you know, reflect and, you know, maybe have other life experiences to bring them back around to, you know, think about something that happened in their past. That was some deep shit there.
we, I don't know if you remember, but we got into some really deep stuff the last time we talked. We were talking about the universe and parallel universe and multiverse and all that. Uh, but you know, I won't get into that
I say
now
you
because
making me sound real good right about now. Go
we
on,
won't get
man.
into that now.
Go on, man.
Um, are you glad this is over with? Because I know you were the subject of a lot of attack on Instagram and all that.
No, I wasn't.
No, I
Oh,
saw some clips of interviews you did, and these people like saying that they, you know, they wished really bad stuff on you, and I'm just like, oh my god, like, geez.
did I seem bothered at all?
No.
Exactly. So yeah, I don't know what they were doing, but it wasn't bothering me at all.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you need to open up an avenue to let people talk and express themselves. So I feel like I was a therapist for a lot of people and let them be able to express themselves. So I've done a good thing.
But you gotta
Nobody else,
admit, it's kind of
nobody else,
crazy
probably,
though, right? Some of the
nobody else
stuff you're
probably,
getting.
nobody else probably would have done it. I've done
No.
4 hours, over 4 hours. I've done it.
Mm.
So yeah, nobody can sit and say you know, I'm unfair or one way about anything. Well, they can because it's their opinion, but you know, it goes to show. Yeah, that stuff didn't bother me, and you know, whatever. I'm still here right now, so yeah.
Did you get any crazy DMs after the fight about the fight?
Don't know. I haven't been looking at it, so I haven't gone through anything. I got hundreds of messages and stuff that I haven't even answered. It's just like, yeah, it's like the last fight, but a little bit more. So yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like I'll just take my time and get to it. But I'm still in the gym training. So I'm training Anthony Durrell and I'm training Nico Ali Walsh. So and another fighter, Vladimir Shishkin. So I'm in the gym. I'm still in Vegas, and you know the show just don't stop.
Yeah, no, you gotta. Yeah, that's what I admire about people in general. You would think that, you know, after a big win like this, you'd go and you know, go on hiatus for like a month or something like that. But no, you're right back to it.
That's why I retired last time, if you remember that. So I can't retire again. I took my retirement last time, so I can't retire after this one. I just go right back to the gym.
Just right back into it. But that's what I like. That shows like the work ethic, you know, of people.
Yeah, but you know what I'm really excited about, really, because you know, going into this fight, Anthony had a fight to come up, Nico had a fight, and it's like I have to put everybody on hold to get through this fight with Tyson Fury. Julian Williams, another fighter I was working with, but I had to put everybody on hold. And you know, I respect everybody's decisions, you know, because I had to complete my job, and it was an important job. And just, you know, you hope everybody understands the decisions that you make, and I try to make the best decisions that's fair for everybody, and a decision that I would make for them as well. So it's me being more mature in my life now, to not, you know, think only one way. I was taught more so put yourself in that person's position. You can never go wrong in the decision you make. So yeah, it's been you know, it's good for me now getting back in the gym because I'm working with you know, Anthony and Vladimir. But one of my guys that I'm really happy about working with is Nico Ali Walsh, because it goes back to the last fight with the second fight with Tyson and Deontay, where I did make the statement that I would retire and I want to go back to training amateurs and make those guys champion. So this is part of what I said, you know, and it happens in a bit of a different way, but Nico is like an amateur, a beginner. And, you know, he's got the opportunity to turn professional and for me to help, you know, help him, guide him through his career, as I've done so many times with other amateur standouts. And that's what it feels like. It feels like I'm training the amateurs again. So I love the amateur program and being able to teach, you know, young men and young kids, you know, things about not boxing, but just life in general and how to make themselves stronger and to be able to, you know, possibly pass things on that I'm teaching them to the next generation, you know, that's coming up. So yeah, I'm real happy about, you know, working with him and like I said, like working with an amateur again, like, and being able to guide him and to watch him grow is the best thing. He just turned 21, so I'm really excited about it and happy with everything that's been going so far.
Man, imagine the pressure, you know, for him, just being the grandson of Muhammad Ali, and maybe he's learned how to deal with it. And maybe he doesn't feel pressure, but you know, from the outside looking in, like I don't know, I just feel like there's a lot of pressure, expectation, you know, there.
Well, see, that's like what I was saying about the, you know, not just boxing that we talk about when we have relationships and bonds. You know, for him, I didn't realize it until he told me that he wants to talk to me more, and he enjoys talking to me because my situation is similar to his situation with my uncle being, so high profile and famous and a big influence in boxing with his grandfather. So me being older and experienced, I can talk to him about certain things that maybe bothered me or that he's going through. He can come to me and talk to those things about it, and I'm able to help guide him into, make him feel more comfortable. And from what he tells me and his family's telling me, he's feeling really comfortable with me. He used to have like pressures and things like that, but none at all. And then mostly, I guess, because I don't have those pressures, but I can explain to him and walk him through certain situations and things that may come up, and to let him see it from a different objective and a different view. And it's helped him out a lot. And I'm happy just of that, whatever he does in life, in boxing, it's something that's helped him in life, period.
What does he want to get out of the sport? Like, has he told you like that he wants to be world champion? What's the feel that you get from him?
Well, right now, just starting off, he wants to just be the best. I don't really get into that, like, oh, do you want to be a champion? I'm not working with you because you just want to be a champion. I work with anybody pretty much. And I know some trainers only want to work with somebody who's going to be a champion or wants to do it for real. If he wanted to just do it for recreation and to just learn, I would be doing that as well, because it's just me teaching and me giving off something more than just boxing, because it's not all just boxing that I teach. It's things about life that you learn. And I think those things are the more important things. And if you stick with boxing and be a champion, then that's great. But more importantly, it's about, teaching for the next generation. And they'll have kids or grandkids or nieces and nephews, or just maybe just being able to mentor some other kids or some other youth, and then being able to help them out with some of the things that I passed down to them.
Oh man, yeah. No, we definitely for sure need more of that, more teachers, especially within the sport, because so many people say that actual boxing's not being taught anymore. Sugar,
Hey,
yeah,
listen, sometimes you don't have to say something. So if
yeah,
what you said is going
silence
around,
is golden.
silence is golden. So if it's going around like that, then I'm not in disagreement with it. So it is something that I've said. I don't think I've said it, but maybe I've hinted around and pushed on that a little bit. But yeah, silence is golden right now.
In terms of the future, where do you want to see Tyson go from here? Do you want to see him go right into an undisputed? I know the whole world wants to see an undisputed heavyweight champion. I would imagine that's the logical thing, right?
Don't know. For me, I'm a simple man, so it's like whatever's next. I don't look too far into it. I don't go and try to pick opponents for him. That's not my job. I'm his trainer, friend, more like, and very close. Like, I'm considered family, and I consider him family and his family. So it's not really me trying to guide him or what I even care. He wants to fight, and for me and him, it's just fight whoever. It doesn't matter if it's for all the belts, then that's what it is. But he just wants to fight because that's what he loves to do. And I love teaching. And I love being a part of it, and being able to help get to that point. So that's pretty much how we feel about it. And I know at certain points he'll say something that changes because he's got different feelings at different times. But the simpleness of it is, I just want to fight, and you expect and hope the best things to happen for you. To make you compete. He just wants to compete and be the best, to be the best that he can be. It's not compete with any particular person. It's just being the best Tyson Fury. And there's a lot in Tyson Fury that a lot more. So yeah, I'm excited about watching him grow, and actually letting you guys watch him grow, the fans and people who are not fans that become fans. It's all a part of bringing big time boxing back to the forefront, and letting it be known, boxing, it's not going anywhere.
You being a trainer, and I'm just curious, how do you feel Tyson matches up with a Joshua and with an Usyk?
I feel Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight in the world. So yeah, and yeah, that's about enough. I don't want to put who's second, third, and fourth, and all that, but yeah, Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight in the world, and I don't even look at it as how he'll fare up to them. I have to look at it as how they're going to fare up to him. Not him to them. So, you know, yeah, when that time comes, if that time comes in, that's something that we'll deal with. But I just believe Tyson Fury beats everybody out there. That's just a more simpler way to put it. Not just putting on Anthony Joshua, or Oleksandr Usyk. It's anybody.
Yeah, I think that sentiment is shared by a lot of people, feeling that Fury is the #1 heavyweight in current right now. I just got to get lastly, just your thoughts. We got a tremendous fight coming up with Canelo and Caleb Plant. Can you break that down for us? Let us know how it goes. You're shaking your head no?
No.
Come on, Sugar.
And one reason why is because I'm still geared up from Saturday, so my man is not thinking about Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant at all. I've been getting asked questions about other fights during camp and before, but when I'm in camp mode, I'm not thinking about nobody else's fights, like breaking down their fights. I feel like if I do that, I'm taking away energy from my job and what I have to do, trying to break down somebody else. And I got a job in front of me, so it's not making me give the best of my fighter. So maybe closer to the fight when I can, I can sit down and think about other things and be a little bit more open to what's going on in the world. Like their fight, then I can probably, break it down a little bit and have my, my thoughts on it. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
I try to be fair, man. That's why I won't speak about it, because I don't know enough about it really right now to even be talking about it. So saying something now and then seeing something later without even looking at the whole situation, then it's like I'm a big liar, and I don't want to be a liar. I don't want to just be prejudging things either. So
yeah, you don't want to just say things to say things.
Yeah, I want to give my best analysis. If I don't know something, I'm gonna tell you I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and fake it and try to be have all the answers. That's not me.
That's that was told to me very, very young. If you don't know about something, just say, hey, I don't know about that, and just leave it at that, because it's better than just BSing some answer.
Well, hey, I don't know about that.
In an ideal world,
I think it'll be a very interesting fight, though. I mean, I think it'll be a very interesting fight, and I'm interested to actually, sit down and think about it, and to think about the pros and cons of both fighters going into this fight.
Well, when you do that, please get a hold of me, because I would love to hear your analysis and your thoughts on that. In an ideal world, how soon do you want to see Tyson back in the ring?
It's no rush really for Tyson to get back in the ring. If the fight wasn't so hard, I'd say let's get back into tomorrow. But right now I just feel like he needs to rest a bit. About 2 months rest is good, and then his body will be rejuvenated and he'll be fresher than ever. And I mean rest. I mean, like, he's gonna always train. I hope he'll just take about a month off, maybe just not training at all, just to kind of let your body just calm down from being such a fit man as he is, as you can see in his physique with his shirt off. So just let him let his body just recuperate and let it rest so it can come back even stronger. About a month and a half off, and then start. I know he'll do something. So it's hard for me to just say it, but yeah. And everyone's body is different, but I just like him to get some rest and enjoy his family, enjoy his friends, and more so his family's got a new addition to the family, and also the other 5 kids. So they miss him a lot. When I was there, they missed him, and it was so funny watching one of the little kids, one of his kids, Adonis. Adonis was begging me to stay at the house. He was like, "Can you stay because my daddy's not here?" And he wanted me to push him on the swing all day. Like, he just wanted to put. He's like the he's the second youngest now, but yeah, he's just so funny watching him grow up and to be around his bigger brothers and sisters and trying to do what they're doing, and they on the swings and he wants to do that swing, and him having guts and balls and all that stuff. Like, he's like, push me higher. He wants to go higher. And this ain't a swing like a child swing with the, you put the little thing down so they don't fall out. He's on there on his own, like old school stuff where I grew up on,
the swings with no. I know which one you're talking about.
No crossbar to come down.
Yeah, no
keep him.
crossbar. Yeah,
He's got the saddles. He's got the saddle seating, and you got to sit there and hold it yourself. So I was trying to teach him how to kick your legs out and forward them on the way back. And he was doing it, but he didn't have the timing yet. But I'm quite sure right now he's got the timing. So let him be around his family. They want him to be around. They love him, and he's a fun person to be around. And for me, it's great to see him, being a family man and watching it. It means a lot to me.
All right, hey Sugar, thank you so much. It's always great to chat with you and talk with you. Enjoy this time right here. We're still buzzing about the fight. It was tremendous, and congratulations once again.
All right, thank you very much, and
peace out. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Knockout time.
Thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure to subscribe for more videos of your favorite fighters over here on Fight Up TV, and give us a follow online as well at Fight Up TV on Twitter and on Instagram. We appreciate it, guys.